Good morning for the third time today. Welcome to Yap.
Lunch now.
It's evening now.
Hey guys.
We got Lee on the pod, and we were recording the first 12 minutes of this podcast. And me being silly and just being like just a boy, did not realize that the camera was not recording this whole time. So, I apologize, editor David. I'm sorry. And I apologize, Lee, because I don't know if you could tell, but he was like shaking his leg. I think he's about to hit me the second the camera's turned off. So, let's get into it. Subscribe to the newsletter.
Hey guys.
What's up, Lee?
Welcome back, man.
Talk to us, Lee. What do we have on today?
So today we're going to be talking about why being hyper-specific is more relatable than just trying to relate to a broad audience of people.
Yeah. Okay. Yes.
Does that make sense?
100%.
Rather than here's your how to increase your B2B sales, on LinkedIn post, right? It's more like, fuck you, I want to go live in Antarctica. Just something like really. Why'd you stop recording, bro?
I'm recording. What do you mean?
Is that on? I see the red light.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's keep going. All right. Anyway. So, what?
Yeah, the AI podcast is coming in right now. No, run it back. All right.
So,
All right.
today we're going to be talking about being hyper-specific.
Yeah.
And this is something that I see on my For You page
Yep.
all the time. You just see those like TikTok reels, and it's just like random B-roll.
Yep.
And then the text is like this long, right? And it just highlights a really, really, really specific scenario.
Yep.
As well as I've seen those videos where it's just like, good night to everyone besides this.
Yes.
Very specific edition. And then it's just like really specific, but there's a very slight chance that it's happened to you.
Yep.
And it has happened to you, but you wouldn't expect everyone to have
Yep.
the exact same experience.
And I think the thing with that is that everybody's algorithm is so tailored nowadays that like I feel like brands are scared of being specific. They want to like cast like a wide net.
Yes.
But that's never worked out, or like especially in this era of TikTokification of everything, it's just not gonna work. You need to be extremely specific, because the more specific you get, you'll be surprised about how many people actually relate to that one specific thing,
Yeah, 100%.
rather than like a big group of people relating to a bunch of different things.
I love videos like where it's reflecting on things that you did as a kid,
Yeah.
like dumb things that you just never think about, right?
Yeah.
What's like a really ultra specific moment that you in your life that you've done?
Well, I think a lot of it is. I mean, I don't know if it's crazy specific, but like the idea of just like not being able to sleep, like at night, like struggling with that.
Yeah, there's not.
What about you?
It's pretty broad.
Is it?
I think a lot of people struggle to sleep.
Okay, getting robbed at a gas station.
Okay.
Is that specific enough? Got him. Can you beat that?
No,
Yeah.
I've never been robbed at a gas station, but I'm sure there's like a 1% target audience that would agree with that.
Yeah.
Either the robber or the robbed.
I hope so. If the robber's watching, get the fuck.
The robber is tuning in.
Yeah, and yeah. So I think the whole relatability thing is that like, it shouldn't be like, oh, we all had the same childhood. It should be like, oh, that like sadness of watching this one TV show at 2 a.m. kind of thing.
Yeah, because it's just, I don't know. I feel like people nowadays have seen all the broadness of so many things,
Yeah.
It's kind of like Vine era.
Yep.
Back when everything was relatable,
Yep.
And it's just funny as a concept. But the relatability as a concept is so talked about and used nowadays. It's everything,
It's
all brands know that their brand has to be relatable, right?
Yeah.
But it's kind of like trying to take that step further, right?
Yeah. I think you can also see it in memes. Memes are getting so specific nowadays.
Yeah,
Like it used to be like
it's so funny when you can relate to something that's like so specific. It's
so niche.
Freaking funny.
Like it used to be so broad. It used to be like troll face emojis, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
But now it's like buying a property in Egypt, and like, you know what I mean? Like, a lot of people wouldn't get that, but the people that do, it's like so specific that like, it feels good and it's kind of rewarding to be in the know.
Yes,
Kind of
100%. It feels like you're a part of a club where you didn't realize. And there's a lot of like videos I've seen where it'll be on something really specific. Like, did anyone else do this as a kid or something?
Yeah.
And then all the comments is like, not not one single original experience.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
I
yeah.
can't believe everyone did the same thing too. Just because we literally things that you wouldn't think are okay. This is gonna break your brain.
Go.
Everything that you've done as a kid, something that you think is extremely specific to yourself, I guarantee there's a million people who did the exact
At
same
least
thing.
1 million. At
Like,
least.
At least 1 million people. Did you like shove the soap bar up your ass when you were in the shower?
Okay. Nah. See, this is where we stop the podcast.
Like, I don't know, something like really, really specific, right?
Yeah.
Guaranteed there will be people who did the exact same thing, right?
Yeah. And I think some of the best brands that do that is like Duolingo.
Yeah.
Liquid Death has like a really cool language about speaking about hydration.
Yeah.
Like it's such a specific thing, and like they boil it down to like this like rock star hydration thing, and it's just like hits the nail on the head every single time.
I could tell when things are getting really specific when I saw this video. I probably can't find it. It's old as fuck.
Yeah.
Where it was two guys on a podcast like this.
Yeah.
And they were arguing with each other.
Okay.
Right. When you were a kid, right? And you were driving in the car in the back, or like when you were riding in the car while your parents were driving, did you imagine someone running next to the car if you're listening to music or something?
Yeah.
Did you?
Well, I don't know. Wait, somebody running next to the car?
Yeah, like just like an imaginary figure in your head running next to the car, jumping over obstacles and things like that. Like just because you were bored and you're just staring out the window, right? Well, that's a specific experience, right?
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people that, whether you did it or not, there's a lot of people that relate to that, right? Whether they imagined this little guy running next to the car, right? And there was these two guys who had that exact same experience, and they were arguing whether the guy was a black or white guy. In their head.
Okay. Yeah,
where they were arguing, it's like, in my head, he was a black guy.
Yeah.
And the guy's like, nah, he's white in my head. He's
Yeah.
like, that's why you were racist. Like,
Yeah.
and there was this huge conversation about something that's really specific that you wouldn't think about, right?
Yeah.
But they went even more specific.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And
Video did well too.
it's entertaining, I think, and I think that like the best thing that you could do to a person like from the perspective of a brand is to make your consumer feel seen, or like being like, oh wow, you really get me.
Yeah.
Like you just don't want to come off as like a corporation, even if you are. Like you never like. No. I'm sure Duolingo is a big ass corporation with like office and legal and HR departments, blah blah.
But they're amazing at like figuring out their audience and
they come off like a 19-year-old intern who just like gets it and is super like.
I remember it was so funny that symphony. I
meme?
wanna be part of your symphony, and then Duolingo post one was just like Duolingo birds diving in the ocean or something. It's just funny, like it was just because it's just really specific.
And so yeah, if you're gonna I think the lesson is if you're gonna be niche, really be double niche. Like
be double niche, but don't be too niche where it's like literally an original experience and then you're just a weirdo online.
Yeah, there is a risk of that.
Like,
but how
you're
do
like,
you?
Did anyone else do that? And then like everyone's like, nah, bro, just you. You know, gotta be a bit careful.
How do you avoid that? I wonder.
I don't know.
Like,
just
how do you not come off as a weirdo and come off like relatable at the same time?
it's a part of the social media. You gotta take that risk.
Yeah, Mr. Take that risk. Speaking of taking risks, people are crashing out still. Women are crashing out.
Yeah.
Mostly. Not mostly. Whoa, that sounded crazy. I didn't mean it like that. Basically, what I meant was that, like...
Women crashing out is now becoming okay, right? Because...
More widely accepted.
More widely accepted, right? And you
Yep.
see it a lot more on social media and movies, such as Pearl.
Yep.
Pearl's a good movie. And fuck, that movie was
You
disgusting.
watched it?
Yeah, have you seen it?
I haven't watched it, but I've seen,
It's
like, I know the character and stuff.
Fucking disgusting.
Yeah.
Not like, it's a good movie, but it's just like, it's fucked. Like...
Just because
she like crashes out to the max. She like chops up bodies and stuff. She like takes it. Like you just see it happen. Like you see her. Like it's not like cut away. Like you see her mutilate people and cut their arms off and the bones and stuff. It's disgusting, right?
Nice.
But I think the Pearl movie starts where she's loving, and then she just like as the movie goes on, she's like fuck this shit, and then she just kills everyone, right? And like I think in movies nowadays and just in media in general, we are widely spreading and accepting the fact that women do crash out. They fucking rage like shit too. You know?
Yeah.
It's a good thing.
Yes, and I think that like it's something that like as a man I just have never really thought about.
Hmm.
Like,
Why would we?
yeah, you're right.
Why would we think about this?
Yeah, yeah, you're right. You're right.
We're like, oh yeah, women like women don't really
women
crash
have
out.
feelings too.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
we don't really think about it. Like,
Yeah,
'cause we're just
no,
fucking
I don't.
men.
But like again, I'm just like a guy that like interacts with like 2 women in my whole life, and so yeah, I think it's been a long time coming. I'll say that for sure. I also think that like in this like current state of society, like the political scene isn't like the most pro women it's ever been. So like this just collective like pushback is needed. It feels good to release just like I don't know. I feel like yeah, I do feel bad for women. Like they get ostracized so much for not for the most like it's a little weird. And yeah, that's been displayed through pop culture now more than ever. Like you see like a lot of main characters that are women that like are flawed, and I think that's the thing.
Yeah.
It's showing people that women are flawed too, because I
Yeah.
think we have this like super unrealistic expectation that like oh women are like these like sounds crazy, but like women are these like robots that are like always nice and tidy and feminine and sweet, but it's like no,
No,
everybody crashes out.
legit.
Everybody gets angry, and I've mostly seen it in the form of like I mean there's obviously some in the form of like movies and TV shows and stuff, but as a man that doesn't watch that, I've seen it in the form of like 12-minute TikTok rants, and those are really
Yeah.
good. You just put that stuff on 2x speed. Oh, let it rip.
Facts. Like when I'm like lying next to my girlfriend at night, right?
Yeah,
I'll be like playing my game, right?
yeah.
And I'm kind of a psychopath. I play with no volume. So I don't listen to my video game. I just mute my TV and just play my video game out loud. And all I can hear is the sound of
Is
my
that
phone.
relatable, guys?
I don't know. Is that hyper specific? No. I just don't listen. I just don't like noises in video games just gets too
Yeah.
much for me. So I just play on mute, right?
Yeah.
And all I can hear is her like TikTok in the background.
Yeah,
And her TikTok is just women going off, bro.
yeah.
They're just like crashing out like left, right, and center. And I
Mm.
think it's a good thing just because now it's being celebrated.
Yeah.
You know, women crashing out. And it's not something that's being, you know, pushed under the rug or kept for only characters or like, you know.
Yeah.
Women don't need a reason to crash out now, you know?
Yeah.
It's being celebrated that some days people just have fucked up days.
And
everyone's
it doesn't matter how like literal or valid or invalid like the thing is. If people are crashing out, people are crashing out. It doesn't matter.
Legit.
Like it's not up to you to decide the validity of the crash out. And I think that like brands can tap into this in a good way. Like I think there's like a really famous Nike ad with Serena Williams,
Yeah.
where she like obviously as every tennis players as all tennis players they all crash out like when they get like a point they usually like smash their racket on the floor and stuff like that, and so Nike really took advantage of that and made an ad just like turning this like crash out energy or into like passion and showing it into passion. It's not just like frustration for the sake of frustration.
Yeah.
I also think that like how not to go about it was like the Pepsi Kendall Jenner ad. I don't know if you remember that shit show where like she was getting like upset and then she just like handed some fucking police the Pepsi
Yes.
and she solved world peace.
Yes, I remember that ad.
So that's not the way to go about it. But yeah, what's the funniest thing you've ever gotten irrationally mad about?
The funniest thing I've ever gotten irrationally mad about. I don't know, bro. I get like irrationally like annoyed by like just lots of little things. And I'll just get like mad and then the person's like, "Why are you mad?" I'm like, "I don't know.
Yeah,
I can't explain it. I'm just
Yeah.
mad." That's why it's irrational, I guess.
yeah,
Maybe sometimes I start tweaking when there's like little to no toilet paper left. And
yeah.
it just
so
like the person who was just there,
that's what,
like that was just in the toilet, they decided to just leave it like that, right?
yeah.
And it just like I just start tweaking out.
On that, actually, I get really upset when the toilet paper is on this side and not like the front side.
But that's the right side.
You have it from the bottom, from the under.
Bro, it's just too much when it's over the top, you know? Then you have to
The
then you have
top-
to like you know, like rather than like
See,
you know,
now
underneath.
you're gonna make me mad. Now you're gonna make me mad.
That's it, bro. No.
Yeah. Guys, with that being said, guys, thank you so much for tuning to the podcast. We will catch you tomorrow. Subscribe to the newsletter. Lee, any final words?
Have a good Tuesday.
And don't crash, or do. Maybe crash out. Bye.
See you.